Good morning and welcome back for another day of workshop setup activities. We're making a modular die system for the Stanko power hammer. I want to make it really easy to make additional die shapes in the future without having to go to the extent of cutting dovetails. Today's episode is brought to you with the support of ShipStation, which you can get a 60-day free trial of by going to shipstation.com and entering code FORGE up at the top of the screen after hitting the microphone. Now, I did mention yesterday I was planning on installing a DR row today on the mill, but I'm getting quite nervous about the fact that I'm spending a lot of time getting things ready to make things and not a lot of time actually making things. So I'd quite like to save more workshop setup activities for another month. So we'll postpone the DRO, and we'll do it the old school way without any fancy computers and gadgets. And so here we go. So now we have transformed these dies into little receivers for our modular system. And this isn't my modular system. No, this is something I learned from a French blacksmith by the name of Julien Puy. And it's also not the first time that I've used this system. I had John Nicholson of Massey Forging modify some dies on my old Hinler power hammer to achieve the exact same result. The trouble is, I sold that machine when I moved out of this workshop 2.5 years ago. And that means I also sold all of the dies that I had made for the modular die insert system that happened to have the exact same hole centers on them. So we're really starting from scratch here.
So now it's time to make some inserts, and I think I'm going to make 2 sets, one flat, one half round. We don't have the perfect material for the flat inserts, but it will mean that we can start forging.
And then we can test out and see what those big half-round fullers do. To the mill. Okie dokie, we have plug welded all of our die inserts. The next step is putting these dies back in the power hammer and then grinding whatever surface we want on those inserts. So they're looking pretty good, but we've got an issue with our keys. This key needs some grinding down so we get better contact, and the top die key is sticking out a little bit. So that's not good because that would break things. Okay, we're getting much better contact on it. So now the die key fits in almost all the way, which is exactly what I want. That is perfect. Take a mark as to how far out this top one sticks out. So I'm having trouble because the more I drive the key, the more it wants to stick out. So let's find out what the odds of paper acting as a key shim successfully are. This would be ridiculous if it worked. Is this actually going to work? Am I shimming a die key with paper? We'll find out how long it works for, but for now, that's worked a treat. Isn't that ridiculous? We'll close our magic gate. Ta-da! And now we're actually going to make our die shapes for the inserts that we've made. So this is actually the only pair of dies where we have an alloy steel. The other dies are just mild steel. We made a pair of flat dies, which are just to tide us by until some 4340 or EN24 alloy steel arrives. That's the right size. These are too narrow for those modular dies. I want wider flat dies. These ones will eventually be turned into something else, and they're mild steel, so they won't necessarily last very long either. But you'll see I had these outside the forge, and that's so that I could preheat them for welding. When you weld alloy steels to mild steels, you generally want it preheated so that you don't end up with cracks. So after going to these lengths of making these dies, we should at least put them to use. So we've got a piece of steel in the fire. We're going to use our large fullering dies. Let's see what they make. So we had to play with the large fuller dies. It's a very versatile die that can make some lovely organic shapes, and that was good fun. One of the next tasks for the day is I want to put this to use. I've always wanted one of these. It's a flame saver. A problem you always have when you're using an oxypropane cutting or heating torch is invariably after you heat something, you need to then go and whack on it and hammer on it. But that means that you have to shut off the torch or let it blast away, burning a whole lot of excess gas while you work on your workpiece. And this is a device designed to help solve that problem. Right, let's get this thing set up. So the concept is you have a little pilot light up here. Well, it's not working. My pilot light's not working. How are they meant to get it to work? Okay, problem. After a ton of fussing, I finally got it to work. It turns out the hose on this torch side has a check valve in it, so the gas can only flow in one direction, and I had it in the wrong way. The general idea of this is, of course, you take this off the lever, gas flows, and your torch runs. When you don't need the torch, you put it down, it makes a horrible noise. That pop is incredibly annoying. The oxypropane set that we have in the Montana shop is a rather nice one, like $450 set. This one, I think I paid 200 or 250 pounds, so it's a little cheaper, and I paid the price for it because it makes that ghastly noise. Every time you shut it off, it goes bang! And I don't like that. So, lesson there, buy once, cry once. And speaking about buying things, what's really important when you do buy something is that the company you're buying from ships it well. Now, there's a few ways the company could ship things to you on time in an efficient manner with good shipping rates, and one of them is by hiring a bunch of people with really good handwriting, and they could handwrite all the addresses for you. They could hire a bunch of wizards that know how to manipulate these pieces of dark magic and then deal with the packages with the post office, or they might be using a bit of custom software that makes shipping incredibly easy, which is what ShipStation is, and it's not actually relegated for large companies. Whether you're shipping 1 box a week or whether you're shipping 10,000 boxes a week, you're going to find benefits from using it. They're today's sponsor, and we absolutely love ShipStation. ShipStation is how we ship all of our products, and it's how we shipped our pants. And when the shipping team had hundreds and hundreds of pants to ship, it was incredibly important that we made life as easy as possible, so we made use of ShipStation's incredibly powerful automations to turn pants shipping into a one-click operation where they were packaging a box and labeling it in under a minute. Whatever sales channel you're using, whether you've got a Squarespace website or you're selling on eBay or on Amazon, ShipStation will integrate, bring in your orders, and allow you to cut serious time on shipping. Not only that, you don't need to be a Fortune 500 company to get access to Fortune 500 shipping rates, because you get access to ShipStation's exclusive discounts with major carriers. You can sync your existing carrier accounts if you want, and you can even schedule USPS pickups directly within ShipStation, so you never have to make a trip to the post office again to drop off a parcel, and so that you can focus on doing the things you're great at that actually bring you money, which is likely you being creative in your workshop. So get out there, be creative in your workshop, cut down your shipping times with ShipStation's 2-month free trial just for you. When you go to shipstation.com, you hit the microphone and you enter code FORGE. Get 2 months of it for free. See how easy it makes life. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, ShipStation. See ya.